I will start our next story with a flashback. The year was 1987, the Cold War was thawing. Mikhail Gorbachev was in Murmansk. It's a Russian city located above the Arctic Circle. And here, Gorbachev gave a landmark speech. He wanted to end the militarization in the Arctic. Important words, followed by important actions. World powers signed an agreement. No matter what, geopolitical rivalries will not affect the Arctic. That's what they agreed to. They signed this in 1996. And they abided by this until now. But the war in Ukraine has changed things. That spirit of cooperation is gone, and the Arctic is at a crossroads. This region is not just the frozen high north of the planet. It has immense strategic and environmental significance. It keeps the Earth's climate in balance. It regulates the world's temperature. Plus, it is sitting on a pile of wealth. Billions of dollars worth of untapped gas and oil. The Arctic is home to 13% of the world's undiscovered oil. And 30% of the world's undiscovered gas, uranium, rare earth metals, gold. You name it and the Arctic has it. So who cares about the climate when there is so much money to be made? World powers want this wealth. The Arctic is their new battleground. And billions of dollars of resources are the prize. Whoever gets there first is the winner. And as of today, Russia is leading this race. President Vladimir Putin has launched a new project, a major Arctic project to tap liquefied natural gas, LNG. It's called the Arctic LNG-2 plant. The project is worth $21 billion. It aims to produce 19.8 million tons of LNG every year.
The
projects of LNG production are undoubtedly important because they give multiple effects for the whole economy. They allow us to regain a much needed share of the global market of LNG. They allow us to develop adjacent industries. The first project was successfully fulfilled and it works now. We have all reasons to believe that the second Arctic LNG-2 will be fulfilled on time and with proper quality.
And this isn't Russia's first project in the Arctic. It's in fact their second one, and a very big one. How did Russia get this lead? They have geography to thank for that. 40% of the Arctic is Russian. Russia's coastline accounts for 53% of the Arctic Ocean coastline. 2 million Russians live in the Arctic. Its oil and gas economy depends on Arctic drilling. So Moscow treats the region as its turf and behaves like it has the first dibs on it. Russia's first grand project here was the Yamal LNG plant, one of the largest LNG projects in the world, and now they're working on a second one. The idea is to tap energy resources and control a new sea route. That's the Northern Sea route. Let's pull up the map for you. The Suez Canal is the world's preferred transit route. Any delivery from the Arctic goes all the way around Europe, through the Suez Canal, and then into Asia. As you can see on the map, this is a distance of around 21,000 kilometers. Russia is offering an alternative, a shorter route called the Northern Sea route. It connects the eastern and western parts of the Arctic Ocean. This route is around 13,000 kilometers long, so much shorter and so cost effective. It almost cuts the distance between Europe and Asia by 40%, by almost 40%, and it will save time and money. But the world doesn't use it because the Arctic has icebergs and a harsh environment. This obstructs cargo-carrying vessels, and worse, ships run the risk of colliding with them. But now climate change has melted some of that ice, so the route is clearer, and Moscow wants to make the most of it. It's not the only one eyeing this prize, though. China, too, has been at it. Chinese President Xi Jinping dreams of a polar Silk Road, one that would connect the two continents. So Putin wants to tap the energy resources of the Arctic and control an alternative sea route. Xi, too, wants a slice of the pie. Where does that leave the West? Far behind. They don't have the experience or the presence. So they're doing what they do best, taking the moral high ground. The West says exploitation of Arctic oil and gas will hurt the planet. They're right, it would. But when has that stopped them, or anyone for that matter?